Where did we leave off? Okay, we're on 10, yeah? Okay, we already did the board meeting schedule.
No, on 8.
Yeah, we're,
Oh, just kidding.
I'll share my screen. We'll go back to the rule.
Just
And-
kidding.
Here we go.
All right. Oh, so we need to decide if we're going to move this forward into rulemaking or.
Yeah.
Can it come in November? So I'll make a motion to bring this, open this up in rulemaking.
Okay.
11-015-0025. Second. Lori seconds. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussions? All right, Seth,
Aye.
Karen,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
I for myself, motion carries. Now we're on 10B. Now we're on 10. Okay. We did, yes, today. The PRC report.
And we have heard back from both, we have said that they're willing to be reappointed.
Maybe.
And I feel we should have more Monday, so that's it's kind of a consistent part that we lost is. So I think there's enough.
How many do you have in
I'm gonna say 5.
there? Or do you do
I think it's fine.
and we need 7?
I just. No, yes, our CEO credit. And never incentives meeting. So he's there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I think they do. Yeah, they do.
So
I
you
get it.
I'm gonna move to reappoint Friedland and Maybe to the peer review committee. Aaron seconds. Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seth,
Aye.
Aaron,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
I for myself, motion carried.
So if, and I've got practices and amongst the points that I asked the leaders to fill out. So I'm talking about things. Send them to me, yeah. You may come from those out digitally, let me know.
This is really good.
Alrighty, so then we are on the OBGYN certification process review.
There are quite a few documents for this. They're down there. I was gonna ask her which ones she wanted to look at, but I guess it's up to you.
Well, we could hold off until she's here and we can get to the correspondence.
That's good.
This is kind of.
Could probably start with 11B,
Yeah.
because 11A is kind of associated with the work session.
Yeah, 11/8 is associated.
I know 11 was kind of a weird section, so I apologize. So to clarify, we're on 11B, which is public comment cote, just so we're all on the same page. Ooh. I think,
We're on 11B.
yeah.
11.
One second. Struggling to find it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm in my space. Girls, and our babies separate. I'm all on.
Okay.
I think the screen looks scary right now.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is where it is. Here's the initial email from Heather.
Is he in?
I guess it's kind of connected to 11A too, but.
Yeah.
And then this is the response.
It's the original rule 7. It's about. So we could actually get into details when we're looking at work session. That makes a little bit more sense to their Fuchs and this and the CA, so they got it all together.
All right, so do we want to,
Good. We're just,
Just give me a second. I'm gonna go ahead and just share my screen so that Seth can see it too.
I don't remember reading that.
That's a carry on.
Oh, okay. What I was confused about is he's referencing. So I don't know what we're supposed to do about that. I actually, in my response to him, I actually explained that it looks like you need to go through everything, but I'll bring it to the board so that. Yeah, so he is referencing it on the JV.
So they are, because it's not ours.
Yeah. So how did I respond to him? Because he didn't have a response.
Because there was a lot of back and forth and some other information I didn't know if we weren't a part of public. I didn't include it, but okay.
So my understanding that this idea, we are not the right forum for this idea.
So my response to him was, this is an interesting bill, thanks for bringing it to our attention. It looked like a lobby and request would need to be made to the employment department. As this is their rule, but I'm more than happy to bring the STAR board to get that document. We'll get in our, then probably get it. So that's just to kind of bring it to your attention that he may be reaching out to the employment department to change their rule again. I don't think we want to weigh in on any of that.
Employment department?
Yeah, because this is part of what he's referencing. Is the employment department.
What is it that he doesn't like about it?
It doesn't, I think it's a definition of chiropractic
physician.
Yeah.
Only because it's still.
Yeah.
There's only like to be consistent.
And sorry. Which is, I think, the Medicare definition.
He doesn't like the way it's defined.
I don't either, but it's not our rule.
Right. And so, I mean, what I could, again, respond to him with. Go about your business without being the Department of Mental.
Alright. Go back. The OBGYN.
Miriam, you sent me quite a few documents and I wanted to be sure what I was sharing was what you wanted to be shared. So I was hoping you could give us the document names that you want to be looked at specifically. I have, I think, 6 or 7 in here.
That's what I think the one we need to fix in the policy, you think cover under the staff.
Yeah, okay. This policy right here. Well, I guess I should open it. Let me hold on. Yeah, it's super small. Here you go.
So that's the one. The PDFs that get already set folder are the logs that I just came up with, just that's what we want. And then they wait.
So some of these, the red line here is from our previous meeting. So I don't know if there's a specific section we want to start with, or,
So this was brought to us because of original question was, or not, they're not the 200 hours of direct instruction, whether that was pre or post graduate. So folks could get it before and after. And then in looking at it, it was a little bit more clarification of, the beginning of the present versus instead, and that should be changed in the rule. Was there anything else that wasn't resolved?
And then there's just to do some type of procedure, of what the steps are. So I really don't want to get this information. It's what are the steps that we need to do. And so that's what we're trying to come up with, like, when are they, you mentioned about, when are they doing, yeah.
And then at our previous board meeting, the board had wanted us to create something that was similar as the certain,
Right, which are the laws.
yeah, and then Miriam went and created that, so that's what we're,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we can have this policy and procedure finalized. And then get into the laws and see. That was the laws.
Do you prefer red line, or would you prefer the edited version? Board members?
Red line to start with.
Okay.
And so how this is laid out is what you're seeing as the larger parentheticals or paragraphs all from the rule itself. So as the, one A, that A is part of the rule. Right, is that what I mentioned?
We last time when because we worked on this, if you guys remember, really extensively, we looked at the rule and we also looked at the policy. What we tried to do is really mirror the language, and so we did take it, but I don't know if it's exactly, but we did take it from the rule.
Yeah, so what I guess my point is, whatever changes to make to this policy, we'll need to make to the.
And I think it's just.
Because wasn't this the one that she was asking you that if they can do it all three before they graduate and stuff like that, because they have courses they can keep taking or something? Yeah.
One person. If they were able to do all of it before they actually were licensed.
Mhm.
It might be this cost.
Any comments on this section? Maybe go ahead and just,
So it was clear that after the 50 childbirths are post-grad, are actually post-licensure. Right, this is, yeah.
I think that it's still a little clear with that, or unless they do not there be, that section A where it says the question of legion. That's pre and post recreation. What? If we're looking at a transcript, what would include those 200 hours?
like, what are the title of the courses?
Yeah, like I said. It's on.
How are you taking this to?
Yeah, how am I supposed to know that, or anyone that comes in to certify somebody, know what the 200 hours. What the instruction was, what the course was, what's approved by those 200 hours.
So are you thinking maybe attaching still that to the policies to show like?
Well, and it's also a little bit of more confusion too, is that in a pre and post graduation for the 200 hours of instruction. And then you have that new sub, in addition to 200 hours of direct, back up.
Oh.
The licensing applicant, to me, that means they're already licensed. Yeah. And they're applying.
And we talked about this language for a long time last time around too.
So does that, they're not consistent in my view. So unless, if you want the person licensed after their direct instruction, then it should say, after receiving 200 hours of direct instruction and being licensed. The applicant must also complete the following or something, so it's a little bit more clear than.
I don't know the answer to this, but do we know of programs where, let's say, you're at an approved institution? Is it possible that one of the classes would include care of a pregnant person? But then we wouldn't count it because it would be while they were still in class. And yeah, unlicensed.
See, but I mean,
Loopholes.
Is there an opportunity for like an asterisk, like that they could bring that forward and that would be a board decision? Or do we not want to open that up?
needing to take their course syllabi and.
They begin the 200 hours post graduation, they're licensed and they're following our guidelines. But then they say, hey, back when I was in school, I took this course. I'd like to submit it. As like counting for the 200 courses now.
How many hours was there?
Such a practical.
OBGYN at UWS? One, was it?
Was it like 2 hours with code?
Yeah, just one further.
And do you think it's sufficient enough to, or as part of their education, OBGYN as the basic knowledge, the basic knowledge?
Yeah.
would be there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
'Cause those-
Included in the $200.
Yeah.
See, but so what my concern was, like, I feel like that would be okay. But, if they were in a class that, maybe they've gone further in an outside program that was for OB/GYN while they were still in chiropractic school. Well, one of those classes had some work with patients. But they weren't technically a licensed chiropractor yet, so would that patient work? Like maybe they get part of the class, but they can't say, oh, I get to sign off on this. Yeah, if we think that is an issue, then maybe we need to make it real clear. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
That you want them to get credit or don't want.
Well,
That's
that's up to you guys.
Sure.
This-
When you're a student, you have more restrictions than when you're
Mhm.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cause so that's why it's like a practical in school versus this. It'd be different, cause you're less, you should in theory have I can't talk, less restrictions. Cause you've completed your 200 hours and you have something from this, right?
Well, not yet, because you have to you have to take care of 50 patients under somebody else's supervision still.
Okay. But you have your
But you have your license,
Yeah.
your DC.
yeah, so you do have,
You can.
so
so we want the foundation do we need that foundation before we watch the 50 patients? It's an issue of time, right? Okay, so it's like. I would say sure, yeah, because then when they have their license, then they can focus on those 50 patients. And not only but they're still learning, because they haven't had that. So that was taken in. But I could probably have some kind of another word. Yeah.
So when you were taking courses in WS, what's available there now? Does it include patient encounters?
for a week, yeah. Do they still do the lab?
Well, but it doesn't
But it
include
wasn't-
pregnant person.
It doesn't, you're right.
Yeah, actually, like 6 exams.
And it says direct instruction, is that didactic or is it direct, like patient care?
On which part?
The $200.
Or it says direct instruction, actually, it's in both above and here. Does that mean direct patient care or does that mean didactic instruction?
I think,
I think that adapted.
Yeah, okay. The word direct, I think with licensing can be a little bit problematic, so I was trying to figure that out.
That is direct instruction.
One, I think what we were trying to avoid is, I understand what you're trying, I just want to make sure I understood.
Here, it's under.
Well, we'll get to the substance of it rather than the punctuation at this point.
Okay.
So, do we want to keep in A, do we want to keep pre and post and or post graduation? Or is the 200 hours pre-graduation?
Well, the question was if they had to wait until they graduated to take those classes, so
That's what I'm asking, is,
I'm fine with them taking the classes pre-graduation.
yeah, same.
and then for the second, the added paragraph in A. Should we clarify, say, once the applicant has their DC license or something to that effect, they must also. So just say once licensed, licensing must complete their instruction. And after instruction. License, the licensing must also complete, right? So we. Yes, except that in addition to. So maybe, I think you don't need to, I don't think you need to add in addition to, you just start with once license, the other things. But I don't know, because if they are making their $200. Just do that because it's see.
Right.
But I don't know if they'll, that would be confusing, if people are thinking they're, the licensed part of that is. Oh, yeah,
What if we say once licensed with the state or once licensed as a DC or something like
that's
that?
what I was trying to figure out. Yeah, it's,
After it's becoming
these,
yeah, okay.
after being licensed as a chiropractic physician.
The 50 patients. Is it, you just have to see 50 patients? Is it supervised by somebody? Okay.
Well, so maybe it should say take part in this, well, that's.
I think that's clear, after being licensed.
Would, this subsection A need to be removed? Because it's almost like after being licensed, it's almost like two.
So I think that after being licensed should actually be B, and then these other things should be like little I.
Or whatever the rule, because these are all the changes that could happen.
This we could decide. what it's like. This would be a C, and then,
I.
or,
No, your little, A, big area.
yeah, I think that's how,
Yeah.
that's how OARs would do it. I guess policies we could do.
We can do whatever we want, but we just need to have it. in there.
Yeah.
So should that say then to Lori's point, take part in the supervised care of 50 pregnant persons?
I like that.
Is it for now clear here?
Mhm.
I just was at 50.
My cousin, I've been super many.
It's interesting, because in the rule, taking part in the care of 50 women, but then it says observe and assist in delivery, and that must be under the supervision of a licensed practitioner.
And I feel like both of those are like two separate things, so are they in the end having super, like, taking care of 50 women and then separate 50 women? Like, no longer.
I mean, this is kind of sad, but.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with double dipping. Because. There may be like of the 50 that they're taking part in the care of initially, not all may deliver. So then they would need to fill it with.
Or have natural childbirths.
That's
Because then if you're taking care of them and they end up with a C-section,
Exactly right.
then you're not observing.
Yeah.
It doesn't count.
The legal.
Well, but we can't do those 7 years.
You say instead of natural, you say.
Drugless.
Non-medicated.
But that doesn't get, well, never mind.
This C-section, minor surgery.
No. Can you cut my leg off? I'm like, that doesn't fall under mine.
Does that come up anywhere else, the natural childhood birth? You see it in Rose,
I know.
but anywhere here on the page, you see it anywhere else,
There.
natural right here. I've,
Yeah.
And by medicated, you're talking about prescription.
it's a good clarification. You learned that.
It's non-medicated, but DH.
You could have pictures, not something that you've medicated to your child.
You can look for the box.
So the fact that they're observing and assisting, does that matter whether the person's medicated or not? I mean, they're not doing it themselves, right? They're.
Yeah, but then you don't get the full scope of what you're supposed to do in a natural childbirth. Because now.
Right.
Is it coming? I don't know if it's coming out or not.
Well, or do we just leave it as natural? Just, it just seems a little bit different.
Is there an update? Yeah, what the hell is call it now?
Yeah, it does seem.
It's just.
Like they're racers.
Unassisted, unassisted, unassisted.
That sounds like they catch it themselves. Yeah.
That's, that is what it sounds like.
Naturally, so unassisted, vaginal delivery / natural child. So it's called a vaginal delivery, is the most common type of childbirth.
But then we're not getting to.
We're not using this. This is why I'm to you, my friends, also related to Google and my other friends. So,
Okay.
Labor, travail, delivery, childbearing, accouchement, spontaneous birth, natural delivery, natural source.
What were your terms?
I just did so much.
Oh, you lost. Killed me.
I don't know. Anyway, we can leave it at that for now.
Apparently, cesarean section is listed under natural childbirth. What? Yeah. Just throwing that out there.
Okay, we'll figure that out.
It's not on your trees.
Okay, so we'll just put it back the way it was for now.
What if? Sorry, I just- I was still curious.
Okay, so, but, taking part in the care of 50 women outside of the delivery portion, does that need to be supervised?
Can you say that again? I think everyone will.
Anybody can.
Yeah,
Well, isn't it supervised, because that's their.
So
Instruction.
the current does not say supervised, but the childbirth part says supervised. So do we want the care part to be supervised?
Because otherwise they're just using their 200 hours of instruction as their base foundation.
Yeah.
Well, their DC license plus the 200 hours, plus then letting them have, I'd say supervised. Just because I mean, it is kind of an important thing. Define supervised.
Well, in the other one, it says supervision of a licensed practitioner with specialty training and obstetrics and natural childbirth.
Because when do you have to find somebody that does it
Mm-hmm.
to work at? One person doesn't.
Yeah,
And what, could you, it's like a medical doctor?
Well, yeah, that's a good question too. Does it have to be a chiropractor? I can it be a naturopath?
it just says licensed practitioner.
Or what about those
But they're
doula people?
They're not, I don't think that falls into the same.
Somebody that catches the baby. Are you a baby catcher?
Focus, focus.
Yeah. Okay. So supervised on A. B. You figure out the natural childbirth. Verbiage.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Yeah,
So are we impeding people from becoming, is there like people wanting to do this other than the one person that already does it? Are we impeding by saying, oh, you've got to volunteer with somebody that already is a baby catcher before you can become a baby catcher?
I mean, I think this is a really big deal. Is that,
I don't think we're feeding it, this is like. Setting up standards to actually get it done. Oh, it's right now, we don't have it. We don't have the steps of it.
Okay. I didn't know, so thank you. Because the person where, I mean, essentially you wouldn't probably be, you'd either have to intern with somebody or volunteer your time. Like, hey, can I come shadow you and your patients, 50 of them?
And a lot of times, the doctors that want to do this already have somebody in mind, or already in conversations with a doctor that does this. Which I feel like that kind of happens with women in surgery as well, when they already have that certification, they kind of already have that. In this.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for letting me go back.
I think be solid.
Then you change the date.
I'm sorry? Oh, yeah, it'll be updated when I.
I would say approved by the board, not given by.
Oh, just removed given by?
And under that section, my question is. The exam. Section C. The exam that. You guys want to approve, is that the one, are they approving? The OGY exam that they take when they're licensed, is that okay to approve for section C? Or is the board going to require the DC to take an additional OGY exam? Once they're done with section B and C, or A and B. No, I'm sorry. I was, the question is always gonna come up.
I think it's always been that one position.
Yeah. Again, the question would be, are we saying, okay, you were licensed 12 years ago, and we took an OBGYN exam to be licensed. Now, we're gonna approve this exam that we took 12 years ago, and we're gonna get certified.
I know.
It's just good. Call it You kind of delete C because
Well,
in order to be licensed, they've already passed that exam. Or no.
Unless there's a.
Unless they're-
Licensed them, but if we had like a doctor from like 10 years ago that did their. I mean, they should have been the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's
how about, can we say pass a certification exam within a certain period of time? We just
Yeah.
add it on at the end.
Yeah.
So, okay,
No, not approved by the board within a certain amount of time.
well,
Have if they took this exam. If not previously certified.
Yeah, or if, I'm trying to say, if graduated or if taken this exam, if not taken this exam within 3 years or, something where if it's been no longer than 3 years since you've got, you took our OB exam and you have to do it again. That sounds better.
Because we can't do that for like somebody that wants to get relicensed, if they lost the license, then we say, well, if you took the OBGYN test within the last 5 years, you don't have to.
Yeah, we do 5 years for that. They're like,
Okay. 65.
certification exam.
How often do techniques get
In
updated?
obstetrics. In obstetrics or like recomplete or,
SASI certification exam and obstetrics approved by the board within the last 5 years? Although it sounds like we approved it.
Passive and obstruction.
Or within the last 5 years.
That's
That's
just 5 years.
yeah.
the content.
Do we wanna, this feels awkward to me.
we just say obstetric
Board
certification.
passes, that's a.
Pass an obstetric certification exam approved by the board?
Or board of the certificate.
Sure.
It's a past tense of it.
Would be a hyphen.
Wait, so, oh, board approved that. Okay, I see what you're saying. And it should be approved.
In this document, we're talking about eligibility. But that's a good question, if they're gonna say that, they're saying, well, my board in Missouri passed that.
Would it be passed within the last 5 years past a board's board approval?
Let's get into all the.
Okay.
So within the, I would say the last 5 years, not the past 5 years, so we have past and past.
Mm.
Last 5 years past.
In Oregon.
An Oregon board.
We could just say OBCE approved.
Are there other exams that can we not just say the Oregon obstetrics exam? Like. That's the best. I mean, what else, what else would we? There's only one. Yeah, no.
And it's just, so past the. OBCE, OB9. That's what. That's what it's called, right there, we got examination.
Yeah. Good question.
That's clear.
Well, a lot. Okay. That was as fast happening, baby.
Then there's 2 and 3 and 4. And can you just say OBC staff will confirm completion of step one above? Or do you?
Of above
Of
written.
requirement, of the above requirements.
If we're gonna say obstetrics rotation letter, this is not okay.
So is that saying that they have to pass the exam and do the 200 hours before they can start doing their 50? Their rotation of 50?
So they
Is that- That's how I read that.
Do they do the 200 hours and pass the exam and then they submit it to you and the board sends a rotation letter? I feel like we're jumping around.
Hmm?
I'm just thinking about what the
Yeah.
cost would be if their initial would be like, I want to get certification, so then I can start instructions.
Oh, yeah, let's start there. I think that seems like a good way to walk through this. So they make the initial request,
Yes,
okay, and then,
and then from there, I think the letter would be sent with the rotation to let them know. And everything that they need, which would be the exam,
okay,
those 200 hours of the training, or instruction hours, and
so after they make their initial request, you'd send them information, they'd complete the 200 hours, which is section A through all the way down here. And then they pass the exam and then they go back to you, is that right?
right, yes, so one way or another, once they start that process, I would confirm the transcripts. That they have those 200 hours, then I would confirm that. And those people in the exam that's done in the last 5 years, if not, then I would say, you need to get this done.
So the obstetrics rotation letter would have been sent way above, like way before.
Right.
Okay, so this can be removed, right?
But where do we want that into the first, is that,
Yeah.
that rotation letter, is that part of that first email?
Seems like it.
Right, yeah.
So we'll just put it up here. Where would we like it? Up here? Up here, like right after this?
There, I think we'll follow with the.
I think this whole section needs to be changed because I don't really like the way that's figured out.
Instructions from OBC will follow. I think you just say, you delete that, yeah, delete that part.
Can we say an obstetrics rotation letter? Can we say to mirror our rule, sent electronically or something like that? Just, we don't,
That policy, so it doesn't really matter.
I know, but we're gonna end up going back to the rule and we typically say electronic.
But this is person, we're referring to them as a DC, are they a DC at this? Or are they the licensee applicant, or are they the applicant?
Yeah, and
This is along with instructions on the following, polling, and then have it be available.
I'm sorry, say that again.
An instructions rotation letter will then be sent electronically to the applicant along with instructions on the following. Polling, talking about it.
On the following requirements.
Do you want requirements, right?
That makes sense, so it incorporates that.
And when you type the applicant there, you are referring to the DC that's applying for this, right?
yeah, but we left it kind of vague on purpose because they can get that 200 hours before their license.
And just so we're clear, the policy on the above the procedures says a track decision for licensed environment. It does not apply to students.
We also changed this to OBC. Is that okay? Okay, so then let's go back down to 2, if that's okay with everyone. We moved that one section up, so this would be the next step after the staff confirmed the completion of the
Wait a
requirements.
second, we gotta go back up to what Mary just said. So in the policy portion. This is assuming that this person's already licensed, so.
I don't think I've ever had somebody request to be certified before
Your license.
their license at all, not even in the surgery. I don't know if that's had that same experience, but I haven't seen somebody say, I want to get my PC license and the manager.
There was just that one student that was like in Alabama that, was wanting to know if she could work on getting her OB. Getting this before she was licensed.
Oh,
She was wanting to work on it. And or take classes or whatever.
Can they start the application as a student and then complete it as a licensed chiropractor?
I don't see why you couldn't.
Yeah.
yes.
A chiropractic student or a chiropractic physician license.
I think you can leave wording in the policy because you can't practice obstetrics until you get your license, but in 1A, we're making allowance that you can take the classes pre-graduation.
All right, just so we're clear.
Or you can use the classes you took in pre-graduation towards the license.
So,
Well, no chiropractic college teaches enough to get that.
So you'd have to seek around and special.
so we get their request. They get the information, they complete everything. Then it goes back to staff. We complete the review of requirements and then next step.
Yeah.
I know, I'll fix it and make it look pretty.
So, but this looks like they
Right.
do the hours, they confirm it, and then you send them approval to start their rotation for
Yeah, so-
PNC.
Next
So that should be
So-
better.
Yeah,
So final letter of certification will be last. This will be the second to last, and then these 2 would go up, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just put this in there just for like.
no, yeah,
it's good.
yeah.
See what
No,
that.
I think we're just trying to find the order.
Oh, yeah, I think we just need to integrate it into,
So,
it goes
uh,
after A.
so would this be like a new part of a different number? Yeah, that's,
Why don't we just not bring the rule language into the policy? We reference the rule here. So we make all these changes within rule, reference them here,
okay.
and be done with it. So that all of this is not messing with what they need to do for the process.
Are we gonna be outlining the process in the rule? Or are we just gonna be outlining the process here, but then,
I would bullet point the process in the policy. But then you have the requirements in the.
so it would
That's
be,
my thought.
So what do you say, so Michelle, you're saying to take A and B and all that, that's absolutely in the rule, keep it in. But just do, this is the request that follows, so the instructions on the following requirements pursuant to OAR, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
okay, this is not permanent. I'm just gonna put this somewhere so I don't lose it. And then let me go find the rule. I don't know if we have it in here. We do, hey, and then so on top of it.
we copied and pasted that into that policy.
Yeah, I just needed to make sure that,
So I think that's Jeremy's all, so then it's just. Procedures, keep it in order.
thanks. So we effectively, I know this is super small, but we effectively want to take out this whole section. Right?
All of the yeah, all of those requirements. are
Okay.
fixed.
Hold on. So all the way down here?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll come back to that.
Track changes.
Thank you. I would have gotten there, I promise. Okay, and then we want a part of 4. Do we want it to replace this stuff? Or do we want to just put it in there and then work on one thing at a time? Just throw it in there. Like, so if I were to just do this, then we can come back and work on that after we work on the policy. We just took.
I
the language.
mean, we left most of the nuances, though. I feel like if we stick that back in there and then try to go back and work it, it's gonna actually make more work and be more confusing.
Oh, okay. So you,
The wording is really not different. They're just little things.
okay, so you wanna just leave the rule as is, finish up the policy and then come back to it?
Yeah, but just
Okay, so let me do this. So right now, this is what we have. Oops.
even move.
I think that sentence, you're right, this part request
that's-
must be sent through. This is where it was, but
And I would actually make the change, so instructions on the requirements. Year one, last portion of one,
mhm.
and cite the rule there, so instructions rotation, whether it was electronically. On the requirements within OER. Whatever the rule is.
I got it. Where 811-015. Is it 0030?
Yes.
In instead of on. Is that what I heard?
Instructions. No, it's not. Yeah.
Do we want to quote the name of the rule too?
No. That's fair.
Okay.
Do we want to say through email or request sent electronically?
We switched that earlier just because we're being consistent with the rule.
Yeah, okay.
I do wonder, initial written request that OBC, I wonder if we can just remove that section. and
Yeah.
then-
So right there, through email, so it must be meant electronically to OTD, but I think that's what Mary was saying.
Oh,
Electronically could be by fax. So I think he's.
Oh.
I mean, it's.
well, we did, I was looking at another rule recently and we did have electronic in there, but it was like, we specified that it was like broader. Because if, in the, like if we eventually, I'm just giving this as an example, if we eventually were able to send this as a packet through Lumen, that's not email.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I don't want to
Yeah.
be so specific, but I also don't want to receive that.
Yeah.
But somebody could also send it to me.
Well, then let's just say election.
Can we just say electronic mail?
Through electronic means. Okay, well, yeah, you can say electronic.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
I guess we could say, we could keep it email here. I know this is probably repeating this too much, but we could just keep, because we do really, we want to receive it at this point through email. And then we expect to send it something to them through like some electronic mean.
Which
That could
it
be
does.
limit, so that we could just keep it as email and call it good. If everyone's okay with that.
Okay.
So they send it. We send the letter back. Then we have to confirm completion of the 200 hours.
In number 2, Mackenzie, can you say DC will send a date?
Sorry.
But, or should activity theory, yes.
Yeah, I was gonna get there, I just.
Okay.
Okay, so 4 should be 2, is that what we said?
But what if?
But it shouldn't say above requirement.
Yeah.
Because that's completing the 200 hours and the test.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And the 50
so completion
Well,
of the.
of requirements
200
within,
hours.
well, we could say of, completion of requirements within OAR.
But they're not completing all of them.
Okay, so
because
within,
this is for everything up until the point of participating in care,
Right.
Right.
care and the live. birth.
Yeah.
Do we need that? Do we just need that will confirm completion?
Well, yeah, because what if they just jump straight into doing care? They don't stop to get the approved.
So then shouldn't the rotation letter not be sent until they do that?
I was thinking that.
Well, because it says we send them the rotation letter in step 1, as soon as they want to start the
Yeah.
process, but if we don't want them working rotations until after they've done their schooling and pass the test.
If you wanna look at the rotation letter, what I kind of came up with to see, it kind of just explains to them these 200 hours, it's what you do.
That's what was our.
so yeah, I can pull that.
Call it something else.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, we could, but I only follow that because of my surgeries.
So is this the one, is it the draft that you? We will find out.
So maybe OB-GYN initiation letter or. So is it do this process letter? Certification. Decision letter. This, the hoops and jump through letter.
Well, okay, so what, the log that you made,
So the loss.
so, because you say. Wait a minute, there's 2 different logs? Yeah, okay. Well, so, and either then, if you say. After we decided is the care longer. Within the 200 hours or is that after? Okay, so if it's care of 50 pregnant persons, prenatal and postnatal, section B. And you add on that little line that you wrote to be completed after. The, yeah,
Do you send this initially?
This is. What I did, we sent me a to future. Yeah.
Or do you not send it until you verify completion of 200 hours?
Not like- Well, so the way I,
Because I have never done that, so. Okay,
No, it's awesome. It's so good. Qualified for your employee of the year. I'm sorry, because you guys are awesome. Because you guys are smart. You really left out. Oh, I'm sorry, we left out.
I would imagine that this would be my initial letter going to them, you know, these are their steps, they're going to simply. This would be the instruction and then based on. And actually, normally I would have already. I'm probably adding this or in the email to say, I noticed that you completed the 200 or I don't have the 200 hours. Please send me a transcript or let me know where you completed them. And it's been 5 years if I'm not going to go through my exam, so that would be part of the instruction within my email. The rotation class not start without you letting, do this.
So this email is initiation of the OB-GYN process.
Yes.
And it's catered specific to, so I think that's what they call response. OB-GYN initiation of other stuff.
Yes.
There you go.
Spine.
Obstetrics.
Initiation.
Yeah.
That's not so, I think. It's not my favorite word.
That makes more sense.
Yeah,
We, just so I understand, because I'm like a logistics person, so I'm thinking like, I send a request and then I get the initiation letter.
But actually, if that initiated letter says that it does. Yeah.
Right, that's, I think, yeah, that's, okay. So this needs to be its own number seemingly. And then this needs to be 2.
Yep.
Okay, so. Letter sent, confirmation. In that confirmation, So,
information I'm telling you, I do or I do not see that you completed the 200 hours.
okay,
If I don't see it, I need transcript, that would be my request,
okay,
I need transcript from you.
okay,
If you completed it, I'd like to go, okay, you can start the implementation plan based on the instructions that are attached in here.
okay.
And that's also,
So would this be just another part of 2? Okay,
this is you confirming the 200 hours and the tests, right?
Yeah,
and examination?
so yeah. Should we
Or
put
no?
something in one about that? Cause they're just gonna be like, yeah, I wanna start this. And then you're like, oh, I need this and this, and you know,
Well,
like,
that's gonna be part of one. Part of one could be requesting and then OBC staff will confirm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just remove this part.
And
Put it up here.
I know this is tedious, but I love this because it's gonna be really clear.
These are the questions we're gonna get.
Believe me.
Okay, so then the request is sent, you do all your confirmation, I get the initiation letter. And then I submit a proposed rotation plan. That you will review with the board. Okay, and then, right, and then after the board reviews it. Then we have to change the wording on this, but
Yeah.
then I'll submit completed documentation. To review again?
So before we receive the rotation plan, his
Mhm.
proposed rotation plan, which would have normally included a letter from, and this is depending on what you guys want. Normally it includes a letter from the supervising VP that they're going to be working with,
Okay,
the amount, like the time frame on when they're gonna do it, and I think the rotation.
so this part can't be here.
Yeah. Applicant.
Yeah.
Okay,
Protected procedures.
so the board reviews it again?
will we review that it's complete,
Okay.
cause that's what we do for my surgery.
Oh, I see, okay.
So I think, I'm sure there's another step here. So
Yeah.
before, like, as a precursor before,
Mhm.
after 3. Staff, will notify VC of that rotation approval, rotation plan approval, right? Because they're not gonna know, we're here stopped at board review approval.
Thank you, that's the part I think I was
Yeah.
missing. Is that what you wanted or something similar?
Yeah.
Or will notify applicant of rotation, proposal status, because we're not gonna say automatically that it's approved. Rotation plan, I'm sorry, it wasn't proposal, it's plan, rotation plan status. Or once rotation plan is approved.
I think, no, change that
Yeah.
to like, once you.
Fulfill.
Supervised visits or.
No, not there,
Oh,
in 5.
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
After board approval, is that where you
So
want it?
not that.
To delete that portion,
How far?
all of it to the,
To the comma?
Yeah.
Period, staff, period. Board will review.
well, it could be. Applicant will submit completed, will submit proof of requirement completion. Because that's what we're looking for, not necessarily.
Come in.
There's not. Should look at anything over there.
No, we just make reference to.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
During the next board meeting, during the subsequent,
Yeah.
just this is weird language, I don't like it.
No, I wouldn't say that.
During future.
Or you can just say, review the certification approval in due course. That's what Nancy Course meant. How about?
Final letter certification, so that's our process.
All right. Yep. So these should be applicant.
I was actually gonna ask that, thank you.
So should it be in number 3 as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna change this to electronically. To be consistent. Did we remove that completely? Or am I going crazy?
3, beginning.
Thank you. Okay, what was the other change I heard?
3.
Applicant.
Thank you.
And the point, I'm seeing license, or it doesn't matter.
And so, when I was thinking about Jim, we change it from DC. Because they have to be a DC at that point.
At what point do they need to have their, be a DC?
3.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, there you go.
We could do license application. Or.
Yeah, somebody can take. Involved that.
I'm gonna say the license applicant to satisfy word. But it's right.
You actually say here, license number 5, the license applicant will submit proof of certification requirement completion. So. Well, it's actually below 2.
So about submit proof of completed rotation. So at that point, we've already done the other stuff.
Proof of completed rotation.
Yeah, that's true.
And rotations, because it's second to 2.
Yeah.
There's another question that I can ask right now. The OGY exam, does the board want a DC to take it before they start any type of rotation of dribble from you guys, or can they start that rotation plan, get the rotation on the print, and then take that OGY at the end of that plan, or would you rather just have that?
I think you can take it before.
Yeah, because that's
a little less coursework before you're gonna take invasions.
Are you supervised throughout all that? Or,
Yeah, but
no,
At least.
we can't guarantee the supervision.
Okay.
You know?
okay.
So I'm sorry, I didn't hear that whole thing. Are we having a new number 1? The first step or no? Okay, thanks. Thanks. I just want to make sure. Okay.
Good.
Good.
You want to take a break with me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Maybe see anything.
1:45, so.
1:45.